Trying. Check, check. Mic 1 2. Can anybody hear me? Give me a thumbs up, por favor. D, you're on the mic. Can you hear me? Please, brother, give me something.
Yep, we're all good here.
All right, sweet. Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened. I opened the space, sent out some invites, and the whole app crashed on me. But let me reconnect, so that's good.
Yeah, you're good. It's cool.
Yeah, in the words of Rob Thomas, it's been a long day, ain't it? Yeah. We're here for UFC Fight Night. Taira versus Perez, cash or trash. Here to talk some bets. If you give me just a second so I can pull everything up here. Running super late, stuck on Father's Day shit, Gotta get together with all 7 families. All right, kind of got everything here. Let me give Ozzy a mic real quick. There we go. There we go. Pulling up the strat just so I got some extra stuff. Didn't get to post it. Like I said, I'm running a little behind right now. But strat once again, only 4 losses. This is almost the 5th week in a row where we only have 4 losses on the card, which is pretty good considering we got 8, 12, 14 fights per card. We'll get to that. Sadly, they were the ones that kicked my ass. Just to cover how I did last night, ate shit, went. I tried to be disciplined. I only had 2 single plays and had my parlays. I didn't win anything. We're -4 units on the night, but it's all right, man. It's cool. First fight of the night: Josephine Knutson versus Julia Polastri. Knutson cashes at a -220 and has it a whole lot closer than I would have liked it. Had her on 2 parlays there. Over 2.5 was set at -470. Man, from the opening bell, I was thinking I'm gonna sweat this over. She was putting a beating on her, but we'll get to it. Fight goes the distance -450, and then Knutson wins by decision -135. Yeah, to go on to actually talking about the fight. Um, Tele2 Cities Knutson had the way better striking, and that was pretty obvious. But like I said, it got sweaty if you were on that over because it looked like the way Knutson was landing so cleanly, a finish was going to come at some point. And then to have Palastri at the end of that first round get full mount and just start unloading, once again, the sweat was dripping. Mm, I know there was a little controversy on who should have won this fight. I really didn't care either way. Thought it was a pretty good fight. Pilastri did what she needed to do, get it to the ground and make it a little dirtier. But I think Netson was the rightful winner. Do y'all have anything on this one?
No, not really on
Nothing.
this one. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, what's
It's
up,
all
Uzi?
good, man. What's up, brother? What's up?
Yeah, like you said, it was a really close fight. It just like I don't know if Pilastri just had a brain fart or whatever, but man, if she was going for these takedowns earlier, this was her fight, man. She really kind of dropped the ball here. I expect a bit more from her next time out. I think she's probably a learning experience for her, but Knudsen, man, she's one to watch, man. If she's in against another striker, she just will not stop throwing. So yeah, it's yeah. Well, I thought it was a decent fight, but yeah, Pilastri kind of shit the bed a little bit.
Was it a unanimous decision or was it split? I don't remember.
No, it was unanimous, but I was surprised it wasn't a split.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, uh, was it one or the other? Because I felt like Knutson at least won two, or at least
Yeah,
Palastri won one. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
yeah, it was unanimous 29-28 from all 3 judges.
Wow. Well, there you go.
But yeah, on to the next one. We had second leg of the parlay. We got a damn over here, and we miss it by just a damn hair. Think it was 25 seconds or somewhere around there. Melky Azel Costa versus Shaolian Norden Bekoff. Um, Costa covers the minus 228. The over was set at 2.5 rounds, and it's minus 115. Fight ends inside the distance, so it's minus 130. Scrolling down to Costa wins inside the distance plus 150. What the? Sorry. Um, Going down to Costa wins in round three plus 850. And then Costa wins round three submission was plus 1,600. Another one where I was kind of sweating. Hey, I'm getting messages about the audio being a little messed up. Um, y'all hearing me loud and
Yeah,
clear?
yeah,
Everything
you're
good?
good. Yeah,
Yeah, you're
from
good,
me.
mate.
Yeah,
All right, cool, cool, cool. Um, so yeah, what I was getting to. Hey, Shaolin had way, way too much control time. If you were on that money line for Costa, that I'm sure I got a little hairy for a lot of people that were holding those Costa tickets. But at the end of the day, it was Shaolin getting tired in that third round and Costa finding the neck and ending the fight exactly where he wanted it. I wish it was a couple seconds later. Ozzy, do you have anything on this one, man? You had to had a round three submission.
You know, I had that round 2-3 sub on Costa. I had the Costa sub as well at 5-1. I was kind of all over Nurden Becky during the week, and I just thought he was going to get enough top control and everything. But this is kind of why I like to do a lot of these spaces and things like that. People can talk you off bad bets, and that's what happened here. I got talked off that and ended up cashing big on the other side. So, yeah, yeah, it was a good bet for me. First bet of the night. So yeah, got that sub prop on Costa. It was came beautifully.
No, I agree with you, man, because for some reason I just thought Costa didn't impress me too much, and that Shaolin was gonna be able to wrestle his way to a decision. But like you said, there were a lot of people that were on the Costa side and pretty damn confident about it. And I was very chill. I was very chill this card, like I said, or I usually say I'm a degenerate and I'm gonna have action on every single fight. I'm cool with only having two straights this card. D, anything on this
yeah.
one?
Just really quick, I think he looks a lot better at featherweight. He looks nice. Striking looks not too bad. Uh, but I think he was like more of a smaller lightweight when he was competing then, so it wasn't too bad. But Nurden had a lot of opportunities, and he just like squandered all of them. Unfortunately, I mean, take it how you may. Costa did come out with the win, and it looked really darn good. I think it was like a. It was weird because the finish, I think it was like a neck crank or something. And then I looked at like, wait, was it under the chin or on the chin? I mean, could have like submitted it from there, but it is what it is, you know.
Yeah, it was definitely on the chin, but at some points, and that's the thing, man. I was trying to going for that over. I was trying to tell. I'm screaming at the TV. Norton Becky, fight the hands. It's not like Costa's completely hiding the hands behind the head. He was going off of the gable grip right there to the side of the ear. It's like, yo, grab a hand, do something, and just too much pressure on the chin. Aussie.
Yeah, just one more thing I wanted to add. Nurden Becky, he went for 10 takedowns in that fight, and most of that was in the first 2 rounds, I think. So I think it's not a great game plan for him. I don't think. I think he needs to just strike a little bit more on the feet and set up these takedowns a bit more because he's going to be whoever he fights. He's always going to be live for a round three finish with that game plan. He just gasses himself out. I think that had something to do with the choke as well, and a bit of the reason why I took that sub 2-3.
His record is really experienced. It's like over like I think 20 wins or like about 50 pro fights. That's crazy. And I mean like He's got a lot of experience, but I mean, he can't hang in UFC even with Costa. But still,
Yeah, 100%.
All right, on to the next one.
just
Gonna call this the Super Parlay Buster, and shame on you if you have Jekka on your parlay. Thankfully, I didn't. Had him busted in other ways, but Weston Wilson gets it done. Job on the line, needs a finish, needs a win. I think what was he coming off of three first round knockouts in the UFC, and everybody expected it to be the exact same thing, but Weston Wilson gets it done, cashes at a plus 275. Over was set at 1.5 rounds. The under cashes at minus 220. Fight ends inside the distance. Hope nobody had action on this. Minus 800. Wilson inside the distance plus 350. Wilson wins by submission plus 400. Wilson wins in round one plus 450. And then Wilson wins in round one by submission plus 500. I mean, you hear those numbers and you think for somebody that has been getting their ass whooped and constantly finishing on the verge of losing their job, these numbers are way too close. 400, 450, and then 500 for something as specific as round and method. We all knew what the chances were and or what was going to be the outcome if Weston Wilson won, and hey, it happened. It happened, and you were only getting plus 500 out of it. So the books knew how to cover their own ass right there.
that was a great fight. That was a great fight for Weston Wilson. And just super really off topic. Jekka has probably one of the nicest looking back tattoos I've seen in a very long time. Anyway, back to the fight. What execution by Weston Wilson just by saying like he locked up the triangle. Jekka tried to like lift him, dump him off. That's fair. And then after that, uh, try to get or he got the triangle from then, secured the arm bar. There's not a lot of that execution. You only see maybe one or the other. Uh, I could be wrong about this. Uh, I understand, but I think the last armbar and uh, triangle submission probably was, like I said, don't accuse me or whatever, was against Michael Chiesa and Anthony Pettis. I could be wrong about that, but whatever. But that was well done work by Weston Wilson. I really like that fight. That was a great one.
I want to say we saw an armbar triangle not too long ago, maybe like 2 months ago. I feel like we've been seeing the transitions a lot lately, but dudes are getting out of it, and it's just MMA fighters in these days and age are just way too good at
That's
jujitsu
fair.
to be caught in some of this stuff. Aussie.
Yeah, this was another one. Whenever I see a fighter where I know they're so one dimensional that, a lot of their win equity is in a prop. And I thought 90% of his win equity was in that first round submission. Um, Jekka cannot land a punch on this guy unless he closes the
No,
distance. And that's what happened. He had to close the distance. You had to go in, and then next thing you know, you're in a clinch. Then you're on the ground, and he's just selling out for that armbar triangle, and he knew how to defend the slam. It's obviously not the first time he's been in that position, and he got the submission. So that was two submissions in a row, and already on this card, I was up 11 units straight away, bang. So I was wrapped with that.
Beautiful.
good job.
Yeah, good job, Aussie. Good calls on that, man. Um, yeah, on to the next one. Last thing I'll say is freaking Jekyll. Why would you fall into his guard like that? Like, just stand up. And then at the beginning of the fight, it's like when Weston was going for takedowns and they turned into a scramble, he was like very urgent to get out of there, and then he just got comfortable and boom, instant sub.
I will
But
say
all right,
the confidence level in Jacka was way too much for a guy that is really not good, and he's kind of proven already that he's been taken down and controlled by guys that aren't really good. So I really wasn't surprised. I thought he had a puncher's chance, and Wilson had a submission chance, and one of the guys was minus 200 for their prop, and the other guy was plus 400. So to me, it was easy. I thought it was a 50-50 fight. He's either going to get knocked out or he's going to get the sub. And sometimes you just look at the props, not the money lines, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of value on the other side.
Really quick, I just want to say I'm surprised this did not get performance of the night. Like, yeah, I can understand maybe Brady high stand got it, but still, that was dominant performance by Weston Wilson. But I ain't one to call it give up money. But I was a little surprised.
Yeah, no, Dana was probably thinking, "You're just lucky to have your job, bro. I'm not gonna give you 50,000."
Sorry, just to
So,
just to follow up on that, what was the bonuses?
so 50 fight of the night was Carly and Gabriella. We got another fight performance of the night was Brady, and then obviously the performance of the night was also Tyra, and that's it.
Wow, that's kind of yeah. I don't think Taira deserved a performance of the night straight up for an injury TKO.
I
Um,
think that was legit though. I think that was really strategic. I mean, a lot of people think it's like an injury. No, that I think that was
Hey, 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 hey! We'll pump the brakes because we're gonna
yeah,
get
that's
we'll
fair.
there.
we'll we'll get
Oh,
there. We'll get there. Yeah.
We'll get there.
we'll
We'll get
get there.
there.
We'll get there. But let's talk about the fight of the night: Gabriela Fernandez versus Carly Judice. Gabby cashes at minus 155. Over was set at 2.5. Cashes at minus 260. Fight goes the distance minus 210. And Fernandez to win by decision plus 165. Another one, I was surprised to see people talking about Judy should have won. She put up a hell of a good fight. I had her on one long shot parlay just for the dog bunny, and I was comfortable with it going to decision. Didn't think she won it personally, but she impressed, man. And I know throughout the whole damn fight, Michael Bisping was glazing, as the kids say, all over her, and about how she's looking so good at such a young point in her career. And she did look good. She had some good moments in there, but I thought just Gabriella was just a little bit too much in this fight. And yeah, I mean, considering the whole night, I'm cool with this getting fight of the night. These girls really banged it out. Y'all got anything on this one?
I'll just say I thought it was a competitive fight. I thought round one was clearly Judas, two was Fernandez, and three was the split round. I think. Or I could be wrong on that. Maybe round one was yeah. Maybe round three was a split round. I can't really remember. But yeah, I thought it was close. It was a split decision, right?
Yeah, it was a split decision with Adelaide Burr, the one and only, giving
Adelaide
it
Bay.
to Judice,
Okay, yeah.
29-28.
Well, just looking at the stats, I know stats don't tell the whole story, but it was pretty much a whole entire stand-up fight. 119 strikes to Fernandez, 169 to Judice. So she outlanded her by 50 strikes, and there's a lot of fights on this card where 50 strikes wasn't landed at all, and she outlanded her by 50. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I understand why that was a fight of the night. It was a good one. It was a good banger between the two. On to the next one. This was where I put in my first straight play of the night. I hit Nathan Manus by KO. He cashes a minus 650. Does he look it? Absolutely not. I know. Joe and I were in a comment conversation talking about what do you want out of a fighter when you bet minus 650 or minus 600. And I said a dominating 30-27 is cool with me because not every fighter is going to be a finisher, and some opponents are just too tough to finish, but you make it look easy, right? um did Nathan Manus make it look easy? I guess he won two 30-27s. But, dude, this is where I want you to get a finish. You get Jimmy Flick out there, you break his damn chin. Um, Sadness, right? Over 1.5 was set at plus 132, or it closed at plus 132, and that cashed. Fight goes the distance plus 400. and then Manis wins by decision plus 600. So you would have thought, considering how Jimmy Flick has been stopped a lot, and he's also gotten finishes by his submissions on high frequency, that those odds would have been a whole lot higher. But Manes, you got him at minus 650, but then you also got him at plus 600 for a decision. So I really don't like them numbers, considering what was supposed to happen between both of these fighters. Ozzy?
Yeah, man, this was another one. I was on the flick side just because I thought the odds were way off on the submission prop. I thought the only chance he has to win this fight is his sub, so I thought that should have been his money line. I had his sub at plus 800. I know, and it got to plus 900, which is crazy. Yeah, I had the flick sub. I mean, I feel like I got my money's worth. He had two legit submission attempts. Almost got a Von Flue, almost got a guillotine. So I don't really hate that bet, but again, it was like, do I bet Manes KO minus 200 or Jimmy Fleek sub plus 800? I know where I'd rather put my money. And yeah, I was. What was him go the distance? What was Manes' decision? It must have been a decent
Manis
number.
decision. Manis decision closed at plus 600.
Jeez, I kind of hate myself for not having that because I thought in my head there's a world where he just stays at distance and just leg kicks, but then I thought, well, if he just leg kicks him, he probably gets a TKO late. But I'm really surprised. If all of these fights on this card, this was the fight I was sure wouldn't go the distance. Um, and here we are. It was a decision. It was kind of crazy, but yeah, flicked by sub at plus 800. He had two submission attempts, so I don't feel like I fucked anything up there.
Yeah, I'm usually the guy that says any losing bet is a bad bet. You have these people that talk about, oh, good bet, bad bet. Oh, I got good closing line value and all this mumbo jumbo. I usually just say any losing bet is a bad bet because you didn't put money in your pocket. But hey, touch Jimmy Flick by submission at any fight, especially if they're gonna give you those lines. And hey, if you lose, fuck it, it happens, right? Um, On to the next one. Adam Fugit versus Josh Quinlan. I don't know about y'all. This one was pretty much a snoozer for me. I did think Josh Quinlan won the fight. No, it was Fugit. Well, no, I thought Quinlan kind of won the fight. Fugit ended up winning the decision, split decision. To me, it would just look like Quinlan was landing the better strikes, but I mean, I can't say that I was like extremely invested in this fight. It was nothing on the parlays, nothing straight. It was just on the TV at this point while I'm freaking cooking up some fajitas, putting a little bit of corn on the Barbie. Uh, Over was set at 1.5 rounds, minus 140. Fight goes the distance, plus 160. And then Adam Fugit to win by decision was plus 260. Like I said, didn't really have a take on or either fight. Didn't care who was going to win this one. Didn't really have anything invested in it. But I thought Quinlan. When I was watching, I thought Quinlan landed the better strikes, and Fugit was all right. Sucks because I think when it came to Tuesday space, I said Fugit was gonna win this with heavy wrestling, and he didn't seem to wrestle much at all this fight. But it happens. Ozzy.
Yeah, this is another one where kind of just before the fight, I just put a little bit of money, just a small bet. I think it was $15 to win 105 or something on the fight ends in split. Um, Kind of kicking myself for not
Oh, beautiful.
picking the Fugit split because that was like 11-1 or something. No, no, sorry. What was 21-1? And I didn't think he won the fight, so I was kind of glad at the time I didn't put it on and I just played the split. But then when his name got raised, I was as surprised as Quinlan. I was like, wow, I thought Quinlan clearly won 2 rounds. But sometimes when that first round's close, and then the same guy kind of just edges that second round, the judges might just give it to the other guy, thinking it's two close rounds. And that's probably what happened here. And then Fugit won the third. So, yeah, I'm not too surprised with the scorecard, but Yeah, I just got that little bit on that split decision just to keep it interesting, and sometimes it hits when it shouldn't, and that's what happened here.
Good job, man. Good job. I ain't trying to pry, but it sounds like you had a great night last night.
It was my best night of the year. Yeah, I went crazy. I was up 33 units tracked, and then a shitload more
Oh,
untracked. So it was insane for me.
hey, I ended up minus 4 units, but you know what? I'm just gonna say I talked to Aussie, and I'm gonna take your wins as my wins. Asu Amabaya versus Jose Johnson. I, I've been telling y'all, man. Asu Amabayev and Azat Maxim, they're fades. They're 100% fades. And did Asu look like minus 360 here? Sure, it was a unanimous decision of a bunch of wrestling, but at least we're gonna get a fighter who's gonna give us a free over most of the time. People are gonna talk about that O'Day submission. It was like, hey, O'Day is always a free submission if you're gonna go to if you're gonna take him to the ground. Um, my even my friend, while I was watching I was watching it with my friends there, and they were like, "Oh shit, Asu's got the choke." Asu, don't sweat it, man. He's not gonna choke this guy out. This kid doesn't finish. We had the over set at 1.5 rounds, cashed at minus 200. Fight goes the distance plus 160, and then Almabayev by decision plus 175. And yeah, this went unanimous decision. All three scorecards 30-27 for also Almabayev. I know there were some people willing to put money on Jose Johnson. If I wasn't so distracted, maybe I would have tried to put it. But honestly, after the Wilson finish and how much dog money cashed right there, I said, yeah, I don't need to be playing any more dogs, or I don't need to be freaking going for any Hail Mary straight plays for the rest of the night, because that was the one that cashed. Almabayev wins a unanimous decision, but once again, I am not impressed. Aussie?
Yeah, this was another one that I was on the submission. I had Jose Johnson by sub at 26-1. Man, that triangle was deep, man. He had him in that really deep triangle. He just couldn't get the arm across. I don't mind losing a 26-1 bet if it's close, like at least he went for the submission. The line was way off. He shouldn't have been 26-1 by sub when 12 minutes, 13 minutes of this fight was on the ground. We knew he had really bad takedown defense. Already been coming into this fight. He'd been taken down 24 times in 44 minutes or something like that. Pretty much getting taken down every 30 seconds, which is just an insane
Good
stat.
God.
And he carried it on here. He got sick, taken down 6 times, but man, he had some back control himself. He was working on chokes himself, and then yeah, that triangle was deep. So I thought the 26-1 by sub was insane. I put a little unit on that, and I would do it again, to be honest, if they fought again. But of course, he loses 30-27, which I kind of expected as well. If he didn't get the finish, he was just going to lose due to top control. So that's what happened. And yeah, unfortunately, the 26-1 didn't hit.
Yeah, man. From talking to you throughout these spaces, I've said I see some stupid, crazy numbers like that. To put $5 on it, why the hell not, right? And I forgot about that triangle that Johnson threw up. Yeah, it was pretty tight. The homies did get crunk for that one, but sadly it didn't hit, man. Hey, I would have loved to have been wrong right there and let you cash at 26-1, brother. This next one was 100% my fight of the night, mostly because I felt like I was the only person on Garrett Armfield. Everybody was on Brady. I ended up not betting it because if you saw that line movement right at the end of the night, it was kind of ridiculous. Right before the fight, Brady Highstand falls down to a plus 220. Does it falls or goes up? We'll say goes up to a plus 220 from where he was. I believe he was like plus 160 or plus 150 before that. Yeah, crazy line movement right before this fight started. So at minus 260, I said, yeah, I'm not gonna touch Garrett Armfield, but I still think he's gonna win this fight. This was This was the parlay buster for me because I had over 2.5 that was set at minus 162, and once again we freaking missed it by a couple of seconds. I was hoping. I was hoping. Did this finish in the second or the third round?
Third,
Just a second.
third.
Third, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I was right. We missed that by just a couple of damn seconds there. A minute to be honest. Brady Highstand, like I said, he cashes at that plus 220. Under 2.5 round cashes at plus 132. Fight ends inside the distance minus 105. High stand wins inside the distance plus 450. High stand wins by submission plus 700. High stand wins in round three plus 1,600. And then scrolling down, where are we? High stand wins by round three submission plus 2,400. Now, Aussie, before I pass it off to you, you better be telling me that you had both round three high stand and round three submission high stand. Because I always give my props, man. Everybody was on Brady, and everybody was specifically talking about that gas tank and how the submission was going to come late, that it was going to come in round three. So for these ridiculous odds, I hope you hit it, brother.
You know, I did, man. I had 3 units on Brady at plus 195. Like you said, I know the odds got to be better come to closing, but I also had the sub at plus 850, and I had the round three at 26 to 1 at bet 365. So I had the round two as well at 17, but I didn't get that. I got that round three. But this was just an absolute monster for me. Also had the sub 2-3 at Sportsbet. I mean, it was just absolute insane win. I had a lot of people because I've been saying this all week. Bet him round sub round 2-3. Armfield gases. Brady always gets the back in that third round. If you watch him every single fight, he's got the back in that third round. And even when he gets knocked down, within a minute, he's on his opponent's back every single fight. This guy doesn't. If he gets clipped, he gets hit. He doesn't just cover up. He's immediately on a leg trying to get a takedown, and that's what he did. He survived, man. We got the ref did his job. He did his job well. Other refs might have screwed it up for him, but he survived. He got the takedown, and then Armfield gassed, and he got it, man. I got a lot of shit from people, man, DMing me saying I'm only saying this because I had Brady on my show a couple of weeks ago, and I'm just kissing his ass and promoting him because he was on my show. Man, I've bet against people I've had on the show before. you know, um, I always put my money where I think it's best, and it's no disrespect to anybody that I bet against. A lot of the time, I'm betting a number, not because I think someone is shit. It's just because the odds are wrong or whatever. And the odds were wrong on this. If someone had a gun to my head and said that Brady won by submission, pick the round or you're dead, I would have picked that third round, man. And the third round was 26 to 1. The first round was like 11 to 1 or something. Like you have to just go with the most likely scenario. And this is just one. I'm sorry I'm rambling on, but I just had it perfect the whole way around. My whole read and everything I had hit. So yeah, I was really, really happy with his performance.
No, brother, ramble on, man. Like I said, I wasn't in your DMs talking shit, but I was one of the people. I was in your space that Friday, I believe, and saying like, hey, man, even if you look at the damn takedown stats, like he ain't shot on nobody this much, except Ricky Tercios. Like, y'all guys are hyping up not hyping up the takedowns, like if he can't get them, but like Garrett's gonna be able to deal with it. I was talking my shit. So hey, you always got your time on the mic to talk your shit back to me. I always say if I get it wrong, you act like a dog that just pissed on your carpet and you rub my nose in it. I was also gonna say when he knocked him that when Brady no not Brady when Garrett knocked him down in the second round and follows him to the ground. Like, I got two friends that they're casuals, they're not on Twitter, they're they don't know everything, right? Um, they're screaming like, "Yeah, finish him," and shit. And I'm there just pulling my hair out, like, "Get the hell up off the ground, leave him alone. Just get up off the ground, knock his ass down again, and get him back up again." and they're looking at me like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And 100%, I stole what you said all week, Aussie. I said, "Bro, Brady's got a chin. Yes, he's gonna get knocked down every fight, but he's going to find your back at some point. Just do not get on the floor with him." And then after that knockdown and him landing some ground and pounds, 20 seconds later, fucking Brady is on his back searching for rear naked chokes, and the guys are looking at me like, "Yo, he's on his back." I was like, "Yeah, yeah, come on. You think I do this shit for fun? Nah, man, I know this shit." Shout out Aussie. They don't know. They won't be listening to this. Um, but yeah, no, you were spot on that one, and shout out to a lot of people that were on Brady Heist, and fuck me for going against Tough, right? I can't always be talking so great about the Ultimate Fighter and then not take that fighter when I got him at such ridiculous plus money odds. But if that's that, we're going on to Lucas Almeida versus Timothy Kuwamba. Lucas Almeida put a beating on this boy, man. Timothy was looking really good for those first 30 seconds to a minute. And right before this fight, I was going off to the guys about how much I hate bad corners that don't give advice. And in the first 30 seconds, one of my homies looks at me and goes, "Oh, hey, hey, professional corner, what would you say to Lucas here? Because he's getting his ass whooped." I was like, "Well, we're 30 seconds in the fight. Pump the brakes, man. Let's see what happens." And Lucas made those reads for sure. Um, stopped. He started throwing those strikes while Timmy was throwing those kicks. Timmy stopped throwing them damn kicks, and then it just the wheels fell off of the train, man. And Lucas was just started picking them apart. Cash is at a plus 169. Over was set at 2.5 rounds. Cash is at plus 110. Fight goes the distance, plus 140. And then scrolling down to Almeida wins by decision, plus 550. So you got some pretty good plus money there. Almeida ended up taking a 29-28 unanimous decision on all three cards. It was a good fight, man. It was a good fight. What we definitely saw was Kawamba's tough as a motherfucker because he got dropped down multiple times and got back up again. But man, I don't know what to think about this Almeida kid, man. Sometimes I think he sucks. Sometimes I think he looks great. In this fight, I thought Timothy Kuwamba was going to take it, and freaking Kuwamba ends up shitting a seven leg that was gonna make my night great. I think it was a unit for 8 units. Had Gervonta Tank Davis there at the end, and he made it great too, along with Tyra. Those were the last three plays: Kuwamba, Tyra, and Gervonta Davis. And of course, freaking Timmy Kuwamba just cannot stop getting knocked down. He even made some freaking good adjustments in the middle of the fight. That second round, he had a lot more. He was able to pick it back up, but every time he got touched, it was too much power from Almeida. Ozzy, did you get anything on this one?
Yeah, man, this is another one. I had his decision at plus 750 and his split decision at what a split decision was 23-1, which I thought was crazy. For a fight that was plus 130 to go the distance, I thought those odds were just kind of insane. Did I say that right? Was it plus 130 to go the distance?
Plus 130. Give me a second. We just
Yeah.
closed it. Plus 140.
Plus 140. Yeah. So plus 140, but you're giving me one guy at plus 650. So I took that. Plus, I took the Almeida split at 23. That was never going to happen after those. What did he knock him down twice in the first round? Um,
Uh,
then
yeah,
it
in the
was kind
first
of,
round, I think it was twice.
yeah, yeah. I mean, after that, Kwamba, I mean, I don't know why he wasn't going for heaps of takedowns. He kind of got one in the third round, from what I can remember, but it was a little bit late. Um, yeah, I think, yeah, he kind of just maybe never got back into the fight after those knockdowns. Um, but what's his name? Almeida's not shit, man. He's not shit at all. I mean, he got dominated by Pat Sabatini. Sabatini's just a monster on the mat, man. If he gets you down, he's going to roll you up, no problems. And Andre Feely, another, he's a great technical striker. Doesn't have many knockouts, but knocked Almeida out. And then he had Daniel Zellhuber in his Dana White contender fight. I mean, this guy's fought some really tough competition, and then all of a sudden he's in there with Kawamba, and he's paying plus 650 decision. Yeah, that was. I wish I had a bet a bit more on it, but yeah, just a small bet enough to keep me interested in the fight. Um, but yeah, again, another profitable fight for me.
Beautiful, man. Love to hear it. Co-main time, Miles Johns versus Douglas Silva de Andrade. I finally put in my second straight play here, and just kind of being skewed by all of the trustful cappers here at on Twitter, and it seemed like everybody was on Douglas Silva Andrade, and I understood it. I understood it. One thing I didn't like though is a lot of people were talking about pace and volume from Andrade, and I just thought like I didn't look at any of the numbers. I still haven't looked at any of the numbers, but I just thought like that's not really the fight Andrade fights, is it not? Isn't it always like he's going to land that gigantic fucking shot and then he's gonna put volume on you to finish you? If you're talking about volume, it's something like maybe the Peter Yan fight where they're putting the pressure on him and he's forced into a firefight and he's got to put the volume back onto him. It was kind of iffy for me, but I said, you know what, I trust a lot of these guys and I know they did the proper work and they must be seeing something I'm not. Um, Miles John seems to be. He was talking in his post fight conference about the new Miles John's this and the new Miles John's that. Hey, he looks like he's in a better mind state. He's looking like he's fighting better than he ever has. And if you are going to put a pressure on him and put a pace on him to try and gas him, he's doing a good job of I want to say what's this guy's name? He's a welterweight, Wells, Jeremiah Wells. He kind of seems like him in the sense of like you can try and put the pace on him, but his power and his accuracy of his strikes are going to slow down the fight because if you're gonna come in, he's gonna land that damn what is it, an overhand right or an overhand left that just seemed to be a magnet. I wasn't too interested in this fight to be honest. There was a lot of yelling at each other back and forth, but I don't know. To me, it just seemed very slow. Seemed like Douglas just fought Miles John's fight, and Miles John's, to me, took the decision pretty handedly. He cashes at minus 172. Over is set 2.5 rounds, minus 172 as well. Fight goes the distance, minus 145. And then Miles Johns to win by decision, plus 125. Yeah, just one of those where I was really kicking myself in the butt because. Trust other people's reads and just didn't like how the fight ended up going off, especially with having a unit on there and that being one of the only plays I had throughout the night. Did you get anything on this one?
This was the only real embarrassing bet for me. I had Silva to win by sub at 21-1. Never got a sniff. I had either guy by sub at 9-1. I don't even think this hit the mat for a second. Never close. Surprised that Johns didn't really shoot takedowns. I really thought he was going to shoot a lot of takedowns, and I thought maybe he would gas himself out not being able to get them. But why go for takedowns when you're winning every minute on the feet? I mean, Johns looked like his striking never looked better than this fight. He looked like a powerhouse in there. And he got no knockdowns officially on his record, but in this fight, but he pretty much knocked him down 3 times. He got as close to a knockdown as you can get. He'd hit him, he'd spin around, his hand would hit the mat and stop him from going down. Um, they were, it doesn't say it on his record, man, but he really pieced him up, and really he probably was very close to getting 3 knockdowns in that fight. Leg kicks were on point. The power punching was on point. He looked at just a little bit sloppy in that first round, but he tightened it up and looked a lot better as the fight went on. He was throwing a lot less reckless as the fight went on. Um, Andrade was trying to get some Max Holloway energy in that last 10 seconds, and I don't know. He kind of looked a little terrified doing it. It didn't look the same as Max Holloway. So yeah, I think Miles Johns, man, good win for him. I mean, Douglas Silva Andrade, I know he's getting a bit older, but it's a decent name on your record. And I'm looking to see Miles Johns. What's he won 3 or 4 in a row now? Um, I'd like to see him take a big step up. Oh, he had that no contest against Dan Argueta overturned. I can't remember what that was for.
And that was a win. But he popped for something. I can't remember
Marijuana,
exactly what it
hopefully.
was.
If
No, it
it's
wasn't
marijuana,
marijuana.
we'll take that win.
It wasn't marijuana, but I think it ended up being he proved it was a tainted supplement, and he ended up not getting a full suspension or something. But they didn't give him the win. I think it was something along those lines.
Okay, that makes sense because he that was in September of 23, and then he fought again in March 23. So they didn't give him much suspension at all. So okay, fair enough, fair enough. But yeah, good on him. Keep it going, and I'm interested to see who he fights next.
Main event time. Once again, shout out Darce. Darce don't miss. He had Tatsuro Taira. He had Taira by finish, and I don't know if he had called specifically KO or submission, but it was definitely Taira inside the distance. Tatsuro cashes at minus 250. The over was set at 2.5 rounds. Under cashes at plus 115. Scrolling down, fight ends inside the distance, minus 270. Tyro wins inside the distance, minus 170. Tyro wins by KO, plus 550. Tyro wins in round two, plus 525. And then scrolling down a little more, Tyra wins by KO round two, plus 2,000. So yeah, there's some controversy about this one. A lot of people want to say that Tyra didn't look too good. I thought he looked all right. I think him going 2 for 2 on the takedowns just showed that he wanted to strike. He wanted to flex on his striking for a little bit because the second that he got the takedown against an 86% takedown defense, Alex Perez, he got it. The second that he wanted it, he got it. And it didn't seem too hard at all. It's not like Perez put up a big fight to stop takedowns. It's Tyra got it down pretty easily. Um, People are going to say it's an injury. D was saying earlier that, oh, it looked like it was a legit thing. I've seen people be sharing around that it is a Japanese move. They even gave it a name, something like Oksatu or some stuff like that. Uh, Look, the only reason why I'm not going to say like, oh, it was just straight up injury, blah, blah, blah. We don't care. We'll just throw it away, throw the performance away. I've never seen somebody get a standing body triangle like that and then completely buck them like a damn bull or like a bronco and contort their body the way he was doing it to try and get the fight down. Like he did have the leg wrapped up and he was pulling in the direction of that leg. Now, is it a legit move? I do not know. But I thought he looked good in the striking. He looked all right. I mean, Perez was doing better, but I like the knees. He had some moments where he was sticking a long jab on him. Uh, the striking is supposed to be coming along. We all know that he's a ground guy. Jesus, but yeah, I mean, I thought it was a pretty damn good performance. People want to be mad that he gave up the first round, and it's like, hey, okay. I mean, he ended up getting the finish, and like I said, when he wanted it to the ground, he got it to the ground. I'm sure there was a lot of people on Tyra's submission that felt like they got screwed over, especially when you see a tap out like that. But the kid's impressive, man. 24 years old. It just beat, I think, rank number three. I'd have to look at the ranking specifically to see exactly where Perez was at. And of course, the rankings don't want to work right now. What the hell's going on?
He must have
But
been up there, didn't he? Didn't he just fall off two title shots, and then I know I don't think he barely fought in 4 years or something, but I think that's. Let me just double check as well. I think he must
beating
have been up
Nicola.
there, man.
Yeah, yeah. I want to say it was ranked number three. I don't know why my internet has just decided not to work, but it's all right. Yeah. I mean, to get that good of a performance, I mean, I've still been saying that Tatsuro Taira beats Muhammad Makayev, and eventually, I think we're gonna get that for the belt if Pantoja gives it up or loses it.
Yeah, yeah. Mikhaev doesn't want to be in there with this kid, man. The difference between the two of them is this kid does not gas. He never gets tired. I watched a bunch of his fights coming up to this week, and even the ones he's won by decision, man, they're not slow paced fights. You know, his ground and pound, he's looking for position, he's scrambling. Come that third round, he wins a decision, man. He's not even breathing, heavy. So I had no worries about his gas tank here. I had 4 units on Tyra, and I had 2 units on Tyra to get a takedown and to win at even money. I thought that was a gift. I don't know how he was going to win without getting a takedown. Maybe he takes his back standing and chokes him, but yeah, Tyra all day for me. I thought this was not a great matchup. I know a lot of people were on Perez, but I think that was more they were looking for dogs, playable dogs on the card that had a lot of really big favorites. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. I like this Tyra kid. I really do. I'd love to see him in a Makayev fight or something like that. Only name guys from here on out, all the way to the top. If he loses, he loses. But there's no more protecting this kid. Throw him in big fights, man. I want to see him contender fights. Um, yeah, I know that they're really happy to have a Asian fighter that's coming up. Forgive my ignorance. He's Japanese, is he?
Yes, sir.
I'm just Yeah, Japanese. I mean that's great for Japan to have a great fighter in the UFC. So yeah, I only want to see him in big fights now. I don't care if he's main event, co-main event, or whatever. I just want to see him only fighting people ahead of him.
No, yeah, I want main events only, and I know there were some people talking about like, oh, he's not ready for the Pantoja title shot. I don't give a damn, man. Give it to me. I want to see these guys roll around on the floor. Um, Pantoja's a good ass grappler. Let's see Brazilian jiu jitsu versus Japanese jiu jitsu, and let's get it ASAP. If the kid's 24, if he takes the loss, it's all right. He'll be there in a couple of years. Um, Pantoja's got that dog in him too. He'll take some damage and he's gonna be in your face. I think that'll be a great fight. Uh, yeah, I'm ready for it. Besides that, I don't know who else he's gonna fight. Um, yeah, I don't want to see. I really don't want to see him against anybody else other than Pantoja right now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, let's just have a quick look at the rankings here. Is he not? Oh yeah, he's ranked 13 before that fight. Um, Perez was.
Hello, Aussie, you there? Yeah, I can't hear you, buddy. Um, it's all right, man. It's all right. It's all good. We're uh we're at the end of the card already, anyways. Um, but yeah, I mean, I thought it was a pretty damn good performance by Tyra, and that's all I want to see next. I'm still working with this damn internet here. I don't know what the hell's going on. You got me? You got me? Hello?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, mate. I don't know what happened. Did you get anything of what I was saying?
I just heard you say, let's take a look at the rankings, and then you just
Okay.
cut out completely.
Yeah, so Tyra was ranked 13 before this fight, and Perez was ranked fifth. So I'm assuming he's going to jump right up into the top 10. Um, just reading off the top 10, you got Tim Elliott. I know they were talking about that fight, didn't go through. Nine, Urseg. Eight, Mateus Nicolau. You don't really want to see him against anyone that's just had a loss, though. Manel Cape, Makayev, Perez, he just fought. France at number four is interesting. I don't know if Kai's got a fight booked for Perth, but
Yeah, I was gonna say. So there's rumors that Cara France is he's already lined up to fight in Perth against, I think, Steve Ursig. To be honest.
wow, that's strange. They don't usually like to do that.
but just rumors. I haven't seen anything official or anything
I
like
mean,
that.
Taira, he can turn straight around, man. He took zero damage, couple of leg kicks. That's it, really. Um, he could make it for sure. I know that Australian card needs something big soon because tickets are going to go on sale. They don't have a fucking fight booked yet. Um,
And Australia has a giant Japanese demographic, doesn't it?
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. So, and it's not far. I don't think Japan to Australia. I don't know much about geography, but I know a lot of Asian fighters like to come over here to fight. So yeah, I think that would be a great matchup, man. Get him on that card. This kid, he gives real problems to Kai Kira France. Um, I think Steve Usyk beats Kai as well. So yeah, Kai's sitting at 4 though. He's sitting pretty up the top. Um, Interesting fights, man. Great division, man. Really like. Remember, it used to be like heavyweights. 10 years ago, everyone it used to be heavyweights headlining all the time. Put these heavyweights on the prelims, man. I love these lower weight classes now. All the excitement is in these lower weight classes. There's not much going on at light heavyweight and heavyweight now. So yeah, there's some
And that
interesting
and that's
fights.
why I'm cool with them giving us main events for these lightweight classes. I want to see the skill, man. Um, Finally got the rankings up here. Honestly, I want to see him up against those top three, man. If you know me, I'm a big Amir Albazi believer, but the grappling and the scrambles between Tyra versus Royval Moreno or Albazi, that sounds nuts. That sounds like a two Tasmanian devils just going at it in the middle of the ring. So
Yeah, yeah.
I'd love to see
I
those.
mean, Moreno's taken a break, right? He's already said that, so you can forget about him. He's going to lose that number two spot.
Yeah.
People are going to overtake him. Royval's had his shot. Um, I guess it's Amir Albazi next, is it? I don't know if they've.
Well, I don't know if Albazi is cleared yet. He broke his neck.
Okay,
Um,
so that's another one off the list, man. This guy Ty is right up there. Um, Usyk just fought for
yeah,
the belt.
Albazi.
Um, Far out. This division is wide open. Makayev might get the next shot.
I know that's what people were thinking. Makayev at number six, but
Mm,
shit. I mean, Tyra is just be number five.
yeah, yeah.
He's right. He's probably gonna be ranked above him, or at least Makai is gonna get bumped to five, and Tyra at six.
Oh man, Matt Schnell is number 11. Um, yeah, okay. This top 10 is pretty insane, but like you said, you can knock three or four of them off, and there's really only four guys. Man, this division needs a revamp. Um, That's why it's exciting. That's why I really wanted this Tagia Ulanbekov to fight, man. This guy, what happened? 4 pounds overweight. Do you know what happened? Did the commission
Not
pull
even.
him, or did he say he was too sick to fight, or did Van not accept the fight? What happened there?
So I haven't gotten any information. I don't think anybody gave out anything specific. I was surprised to see not only people in our group chat, but like people all over Twitter shitting on Van for not taking the fight. But then by Van also bragging a little bit on Twitter and saying that he was gonna leg lock him and that he was gonna win and that he should be moved up anyways because uh, he pulled out of the fight. I was. It sounds like it either went to Gear couldn't cut any more weight and the commission didn't let him,
Oh yeah.
or he just got weight sick. Like that. That's the only thing that makes sense to me because. A lot of people were shitting on Van for not taking the fight, but he didn't come out and make a post about, oh, I didn't take a fight. Nobody posted anything, and it all just went really really quiet about what the issue was. So I want to say it was the commission that just didn't let it go on.
Yeah, well, that looks a lot better for him. If that's the case, we've seen that happen before at these lower weight classes. 4 pounds can be a lot. So he needs to either think about moving up, whereas I think he might even fit pretty well at that bantamweight division. It's kind of aging a little bit.
No, yeah, give me Tagiro Lembeca versus Pedro Munoz or Jonathan Martinez, and let's see Let's see how he fares in the 15 automatically, because 4.5 pounds is ridiculous. I think it was a 129.5.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
But yeah, I mean, it seems like we flew through this card, man. Freaking started late. We're just hitting the hour mark. It's just me and you right now. If you're down to pick a couple of fights for this next card, I'm cool with it. If you're good to go, we can close this space out.
Yeah, it's up to you. If you got something you really want to talk about, I've done no research yet, so I'll just be picking for the sake of picking.
So breaking news, I guess, right here, right now. Muhammad Makai, not Muhammad Makai. What the hell am I talking about? Muhammad Naimov versus Melzik Bagdasaryan is pulled off of the card for next week. Melzik Bagdasaryan has gotten injured and can't fight.
Man, this card has taken such a hit, man, over there.
Dude, like Muhammad Naimov and Bagdasaryan aren't the biggest names, but I like what's it called, Naimov, and that was gonna be a banger. That was gonna be a great fucking fight. So that sucks.
Yeah, it's kind of just freaking all over the place. This card, like if Robert Whitaker had pulled out as well, like my God, if he hadn't have accepted the opponent
Yeah,
or whatever, he's kind of covered in band aids for every fight. Anyway, Whitaker he's pulled out of a lot of fights, but man, I don't know. I like this opponent for him really for Whitaker. Um, he's relatively inexperienced. I know he's got the Ov or the Ev or whatever at the end of his name. Um, he's going to be in friendly territory, of course, over there. But Whitaker is a big step up for anyone that hasn't already been tested and put through the ringer. Whitaker is a big problem. Apparently, Bo Nickel got off at the fight, and he was off hunting or something. And
Bo Nickel versus Robert Whitaker.
yeah, yeah.
Jeez
I mean, it could have
Louise.
been bullshit. I was chatting with a bloke today that said, it was announced and he couldn't take it because he was out hunting and out of shape or not available, whatever. But he should not take any short notice fights. Bo Nickel, he should only take fights that he's training for, and especially against Robert Whitaker. I mean, I think Whitaker's the worst matchup for Bo in this entire division. I know there's a lot of people ranked higher than Whitaker, people that have finished Whitaker, but um, Whitaker's takedown defense and cardio is a massive problem for wrestlers, and yeah, Bo needs to stay away from Whitaker.
Yeah, for sure. People forget that what's his name, Whitaker was what did he do? He qualified for the Australian wrestling Olympics team
Yeah,
and couldn't do it because Dana wouldn't let him. Uh,
yeah.
the boys got some
I think
skill.
he was just training with these guys non-stop, and he got so good doing it that all of a sudden he's beaten some of their Olympic Olympic athletes, and they're like, "Fuck, I think you just lost your spot to Whitaker." And Whitaker's like, "Oh, fuck, what?" And he went through the trials and everything, and got in. But for him, I don't think it was too much of a big deal. I'm sure he would have loved to have done it, but that middleweight strap meant more to him than a gold medal, I think. So yeah,
Well, from what I recall, and I might be wrong, but I thought it was Dana that pulled the plug and said like, "Hey, you're number one in the world at this moment. You're not gonna go out and fucking do the Olympics when you're right here to fight for the belt. We're not gonna have you go and get injured and do all this extracurricular shit."
yeah. I think he probably would have loved to have said that he's got an Olympian, a UFC Olympian, a bit of free press. So I don't know what happened there, but yeah, maybe he had the belt at the time. I'm not sure.
True, true. So yeah, from what I'm looking at is they're looking for a replacement for Melsick so that they can keep Muhammad Naimov on the card. Doubt anybody's gonna want to take that fight on 6 days' notice against a power puncher like that. I'm surprised to see a lot of love for Johnny Walker in this Volkan Oezdemir fight, man. I like the Ooze. Haven't looked into it, but I always like the Ooze, and I think the Ooze has got a good chin. He's technical on the feet. He can get some takedowns if he wants. Johnny Walker's gonna need to freaking level up if he's gonna win this fight, in my opinion.
Yeah, Uzdemir is yeah plus 100. Um, I don't know, man. You can never really back Walker as a favorite. You know, he is when he gets knocked out, man, he doesn't just get dropped and TKO'd, you know, he gets knocked the fuck out and hard. And how many of them do you have until you mush, you know? Like you can lose TKOs, positional TKOs a bunch of times. You know, how many times can you actually get flatlined, unconscious, head bouncing off the canvas? You takes them 2 minutes to wake you up. Like that's serious concussions in a sport that's full of concussions, and I don't like it. I don't like him as a favorite ever, ever. If you're ever going to bet him, it's at an underdog, man. I remember I got him by submission against someone. It was 66-1. I can't even remember who he tapped out. Jesus Christ. Let me have a quick look at the rankings. Maybe it's in there somewhere.
Who are you talking about? Walker
Johnny
getting the
Walker,
submission?
he tapped somebody. Yeah, it was 66-1 by submission. Um, I'm going to look up his record real quick.
Let's see who pulls it up faster. Ian Kutalaba,
Kudalaba, was it? Guillotine choke, was it?
rear naked
Rear naked
choke.
choke? Yeah. I mean, I remember it was 66-1. So I was like, what the fuck is this line? And yeah, it was just a must play line. Yeah, crazy. But yeah, you see shit
Yeah,
like that sometimes. But that's weird.
another one that's Another one's gonna be a banger. Like, man, Nicholas Dalby killed Bonfim with pressure and just being a bigger dog. And you think like, damn, Nicholas Dalby is an old dude, man. It's time for him to get his shot at the rankings and like give him a shot to go up at the belt. And they're giving him Hanat Fakhretdinov, who I don't believe, yeah, he's not even ranked. So another one. You'd think that they want Hanat Fakhretdinov to win over there in Saudi Arabia, but we've seen some gas issues with his heavy wrestling game plan, and I wonder if we'll see the same thing when Nicholas Dalby just puts on his hard hat, goes to work, and outdogs this guy.
Oh, I love what you're saying, man. Did you see my tweet I put out today or yesterday?
No, I didn't.
Let me just get it up because I did some research on this one. Um, Yeah, Renat has a record of 22, 2 and 1, but nine of those opponents have never had a win at the time of their fight. So nine of the guys he fought, it was their first fight, or they had a losing record. And only two of his first 11 opponents had two wins at the time, and he lost both of those fights. So he really has crushed cans all the way to the UFC. I know he's got some decent names on his record since being in the UFC, Brian Battle and such. I don't know, man. Like you said, Dalby, give me that gas tank, man. I'm going to take him here. I think he's been a little undervalued. What's the line at the moment? Dalby plus 240. Yeah, I'm
No,
going to take some Dolby plus 240, man. I kind of have to. I think this is a lot closer than that. And like you said, if Vacratino was going to come out and shoot 10 takedowns, um, you know, we might see a similar thing to what we seen with Nerd and Becky last week. He just might get tired from all those takedown attempts, and we know Dolby had an issue once with his gas tank, man, and he came back. He's doing that Wim Hof method. He's breathing his ass off, doing these big breathing things during the fight. He doesn't get tired anymore, man. He's got a tank on him. Um, yeah, I might take a bit of him by decision, split decision, round three. I don't know, man. But Dolby at plus 240 is playable on its own, just at the money line. I kind of like that line.
man. So just to go over some of the fights that fell off this card, pretty freaking cursed. Abu Azaitar versus Dennis Talulin. Farid Basharat versus Montel Jackson. I know they said that they were trying to get a replacement for Montel Jackson, but it's already been a week and they've gone radio silent. So seems like they're not gonna do that. Robert Whitaker versus Khamzat Chimaev. Sharip Putin, Magomedov. He's still on the card, but he was gonna fight Ihor Peteria, and now we're getting Muhammad Naimov versus Melisik Bagdasarian. More than likely canceled because nobody's taking that fight in fucking 6 days notice. 6 days notice and what? It's like a whole day to fly over there to fucking the Middle East. Yeah, no way.
No way, man. Yeah, unless they're getting the royal treatment over there. I'm sure they get a fight in Vegas. They might get a few $100s for a stipend or whatever for the week. Over there, they're probably getting thousands.
So somebody's gonna get bumped up to this main card, and the main card's still pretty damn good. Walker versus Ozdemir, Gastelum versus Rodriguez, Pavlovich versus Volkov, and then our main event. Um, I would assume that they're still gonna keep Sharapudin at the featured prelim just so that they can get as much eyes as possible on Shower Bullet. But Nasra Hakparas versus Jared Gordon, that's going to be a pretty good fight as well. I could see that getting
Yeah,
bumped
that's going
up,
to be 15
or
minutes on the feet for sure.
for sure, 100% hit the over,
Yeah.
1,016%. Um, And then that Dalby fight, man. Like we've taken some hits on this card, but it's still a pretty damn good card, man.
Let, let,
I'm
let me
excited
ask
for
you
it.
about the main event then. Sorry, co-main, which I assume is Volkov Pavlovich. Pavlovich
Yes,
minus
sir.
210, Volkov plus 180. Um, I'll just say quickly, Pavlovich's last fight was Aspinall, right? And he
Yes,
got
sir.
knocked out. If he had a landed first, he could have definitely knocked out Aspinall. If he won and knocked Aspinall out, and now he's the interim champion and he was fighting Volkov, what do you think the number would be?
Oh, oh man, he'd probably be in like the minus 400
I
zone, I would
think so
assume,
too, man. I mean, I think,
and climbing.
yeah, yeah. I think his knockout prop is going to be very close to his money line. If it's not, if I get plus money on Sergey KO round, 1 and 2, if it's like plus 250, something like that, I'm going to hit it, man. I think he knocks Volkov out unless Volkov goes for takedowns and gets them. And if he doesn't, Sergey, man, he's got that power. He's really got that power. I know other people have clipped him before he's managed to clip them, but I don't know, man. Volkov, if he's smart, that first clinch, that first time Pavlovich throws a combination, you end up in the clinch. You better go for trips and a takedown, man. So I might have a little bit Volkov sub too. No, I'm sure that'll probably be a very good number.
Man, so it's hard for me on this one because you said if Sergey landed first in the Aspinall fight, he did land first, man. And I was thinking like, yo, why did like I still say Aspinall's chin is there, and it was there for that left hook is against Pavlovich, and I'll even give Aspinall the props that he hit it, gave a little stumble, and just went right back into the fire. But Pavlovich gave him the space after hitting him. Like that's not what we see from Pavlovich. You fucking hit somebody hard, and you go in there and you throw 17 hammers right after it and finish the fight. Um, yeah, he gave him a space and he gave him actually just enough space for Aspinall to counter him. Um, you would think that fucking since Alexander Volkov is 6'7", he'd have the reach advantage, but it's actually Sergey Pavlovich, 84 inches to the 80 inches of Volkov.
That's crazy,
You
yeah.
would think that you would think that Volkov would want to stick the jab on him for as long as possible and then mix in the wrestling. I can see a path for Volkov, but you never want to be on the wrong betting side of a damn Pavlovich power punch, man.
Yeah. I'm just looking at Volkov's record. I know I had him by sub at 19-1 against Tai Tuivasa, which was crazy. And that was his last fight. It feels like that was so long ago. It was September 23. Um, man, you haven't really heard too much about him, man. He's on a 3-win streak after losing to Aspinall. Um, I mean, you look at the guys he's lost to; they're all named guys. Derek Lewis, the Black Beast, round 3, 10 seconds left, and a fight he was winning. Loses to Curtis Blades, unanimous decision. Yeah, he got out wrestled, 14 takedowns. Um, Cyril Gahn, that was 5 minutes. Sorry, 5 rounds on the feet. 135 significant strikes to 115. That's big output against a strong guy like Cyril Gahn. And then, of course, Tom Aspinall. I mean, he's only lost to good guys. Um, Pavlovich is kind of, I know he's kind of been around for a while, but he hasn't had that many fights. It doesn't seem like. Um, let's see. Oh, he has one, two. Oh, he's had 8 fights since 2018. So he's fighting kind of, every 10 months or something. So one, two, and 4 performance of the nights in those fights and a title shot. So yeah, okay, yeah, he's fought some tough guys too, but he's also fought Marcelo Golm, Maurice Green, Shamil Abrakinov, whatever his name is. And then he one punch Lewis, Derek Lewis, beat Tai Tuivasa, and beat Blades. That Blades KO was pretty good too.
You know what's funny for me, and like you list off those all those names, and Shamil Abdurakhimov is probably the most impressive win, despite the fucking great ass names he has on there. Now, Shamil's chin was gone towards the end of his fucking career, and he was fighting, and that's when Pavlovich got him. But Shamil was always a dude that can take some punches, man. Like Shamil got hit hard, and he kept coming. I guess I'm wrong. Derek Lewis also put him out. So did Tim Johnson, but I don't know. I always like Shamil. Um, I mean, dude, fucking Sergey, the most he's ever been in a fight is 4 minutes
That's
and
insane.
21 seconds.
Yeah, that's what I
Like
mean.
he's never touched a second round.
Yeah, yeah. If you get like plus 200 or something on his KO, you kind of got to take it. Round one KO, if it's plus 250 or something, it's just a smash spot. But probably not going to get numbers like that.
Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be the 16th fight for Volkov. I like Volkov too. I say he's got fucking Brachiosaurus legs, that dude. But I hate that he got his damn stingray tattoo covered up by a fucking samurai helmet or whatever the
Oh,
hell it
that
is.
back
So,
tat, yeah.
I, so I'm on Pavlovich. I miss the Moana Manta Ray fucking tattoo.
Yeah. I mean, I like Whitaker. I like Sergey. Jesus, Gastelum D Rod. I don't know, man. When let's look at Gastelum stats. When was the last time he had a takedown heavy approach in one of his fights? Let's
You
see.
would think that was just an over.
I would
He
I,
just hit
I
the
would
over
assume
on.
it's going the distance. Yeah. Let's see. He hasn't got a takedown in his last 3 fights. He got one against Whitaker, and then he got 6 against Ian Heinisch. That's the kind of performance I want to see him in. Shoot, 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 man. Get some takedowns. He just can't box with these guys. And yeah, I don't know. D Rod, say what you want about him. He's kind of always been a middle guy. He's never really he's never been on somebody's mind as far as title contention. He's been in the UFC a long time too. No,
And also, like D-Rod, not a good look to be finished by Neil Magny, man.
oh,
Yeesh.
don't even talk about that fight, man. That fight cost me $23,000, man. That
Oh,
was
okay, okay. We don't have
oh,
to go there. We don't have to go there.
yeah.
Um, but like D-Rod coming off of 2 losses, I think off of a suspension as well. Didn't he pop for something that wasn't marijuana?
Ooh, I don't know. Did he?
I want to say that he did. I can do a quick look up real quick.
I mean, I like the
Daniel
dedication.
Roy.
Mike.
Well, what do you mean? The you like the the dedication?
Yeah, to juicing and stuff. Um,
Oh,
I
okay.
forgot he fought Mike Perry, man. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that. Looks like he kicked Mike Perry's ass. Um,
Yeah, Daniel Rodriguez, 3 month suspension. USADA. This was on December 14th of 2023.
recent. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. So that's since he's lost to Machado, Ian Gary.
Austrian. Yeah, he was supposed to fight on. Okay, so this is weird. He was supposed to fight on UFC Noche, the September 16th, 2023 card against Ponzinibbio, and he had to pull out because he tested positive for Austrian. He was only given 3 months of suspension, and we still haven't seen him for this long. It's been a while since we've seen him, huh?
Yeah, yeah. May 23. Yeah, over a year. So he might have got 12 months. Yeah. I believe, I don't know. I know Joe would know. I know he's just listening at the moment. But if you get a 12-month suspension, I don't think that means if you get, um, if your suspension starts in December, I don't know if that means you can fight in December the following 12 months. If you get a 12-month suspension, I don't think they can book you within that 12 months. I don't think they can book you 3 months earlier and say you're fighting December, blah, blah, blah. I could be wrong on that. I wish Joe was here because I know he'd know the answer. But yeah, that's the way I remember it. That yeah, they can't book you in a fight or anything within that suspension period. I could be wrong, but maybe that's a case
So
of
he was
the
only
next
he was
case.
only given a 3 month suspension. He was pulled out of a September 16th card. The news came out December 14th, 2023. His last fight was in May. And I believe right before USADA was kicked out, or a year, or around this last year before USADA was kicked out, they had that new rule where the fighters don't need to automatically come out and say they were suspended. Joe's giving me the thumbs down. Maybe I'm wrong, but like from what I think was like it was something to where like the suspension doesn't have to be brought out to the public until after all of the investigation has been done. So I would assume he's pulled out of the September 16th card. September, October, November, December. The news comes out in December. His 3 months off were from September to December, or 3 month suspension was from September to December. You get me?
Yep, yep, yep.
I don't know. This is something Joe could speak on if he would pick up a mic, but it's all cool. We'll bring it up on Tuesday whenever we're breaking down the card, and we have a reason to talk about Daniel Rodriguez.
Yep, yep. But yeah, I don't know,
But
man.
besides that,
Gastelum should go for takedowns here and try to win minutes, but it's just been too long since he's done it. D-Rod's probably going to be bigger and stronger, so yeah, I don't know. Another one where you think how many more fights are we going to get out of Gastelum? Probably not a ton.
man, I feel like he's one of the guys that's gonna be sticking around for as long as possible until Dana kicks him out. And I don't think Dana will ever kick him out. I think he has some affection towards some of these guys that just go out there and put it all on the line. And I think Gaslam is one of those guys. But Joe on the mic, let's get it. Joe, spit some facts about some drug testing.
He just says he's a listener to me.
Yeah, I keep on approving him, but it is
Oh, now it says
just
connecting.
continuing to
Maybe he's
ask me.
jumping in now.
Can you hear me?
Joe, what's going on, my man?
Loud and
Yeah,
clear.
Spit
the
some facts,
reason
mate.
the reason you guys are alone is because it was fine for me after a while, but at first it was cutting in and out. You guys were clearly talking to each other, but listeners couldn't hear. Anyway, so if I'm not mistaken, how it works, Ozzy, is It is from the day. So whatever your suspension is, it is from the day of the dirty test. Whatever they give you, if they say 12 months on January 1st, but you fucking pissed dirty on October 17th, it's October 17th is the day. It starts at the day of the violation. And I'm not clear if the UFC actually can send them over contracts while they are suspended, but it would seem to me that they can, for the simple reason that just because you're suspended in California does not mean you're suspended in Australia.
Yep.
So
Yep.
if they're just upholding to the commission's suspension, I don't think they legally have to. I'm going to ask Eric about this. He'll know. But I do know, at least in word of mouth, the UFC has booked fights for people who are suspended.
While they're suspended, do you think? What about promoting them? Promoting a fighter while
No,
they're on
no,
suspension?
nothing like that. Just I know that guys have said that they have bouts, you know, you basically like 4 weeks after they come out of suspension, like they know
Yep. Okay.
right
Yep.
before they come out that they're going to have a fight to go into. But I don't know if the UFC has to wait until the suspension is lifted to send that contract over legally. But I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think so. In boxing, they do not have to wait to sign contracts. I know that for sure. In boxing, you fuck, bro, you can book 4 fights at one time. Boxing's a little
Yeah.
different.
They'll even remove the suspension if you're fighting in their state. Boxing's so corrupt.
They're like, you're suspended in New York. Oh, I wanted to fight in New York. We meant you're suspended in New Jersey. You could come to New
Yeah.
York.
Yeah. We meant you suspended at that stadium between the hours of 9 and 10 in the morning.
Yeah, you just can't fight at MSG again. We got 3 other stadiums, man. Why don't you try one of them? Yeah, boxing is I don't care what anybody says. Boxing is corrupt as fuck.
Yeah, there's so much money to throw around. That's the thing about the UFC, though. They keep their money. They're not throwing it around too much to all they're just giving the commissions what they have to give them. They know the way around it with the Fertitas for years. They've made handshakes and yeah, they know what they do in the UFC. They're dealing with the same people all the time. Um, yeah, Dana's got all these guys on speed dial, and they bring a lot of money
Oh
in
yeah.
with them, man. They bring a lot of money into every state they go to, and the commissions are making more money out of the UFC for sure. They're how many shows they do in Vegas? How many big boxing shows do they do? Seems like everything's going overseas now.
Yeah, it seems like they quite a bit of them, quite a bit of them. So anybody that might actually still be listening or tuning in or showing up and somehow hearing this, fuck it. They can know. I don't care. But I'll tell you boys right now, Darce picked Whitaker.
Let's go. Let's go.
Of
Let's fucking
course.
go. This is on. Yeah, there's no such thing as a Das fade. It's follow or get fucked. And yeah, I'm on Das all day.
Kelvin's
So
about to have a rough 2 weeks. He hates Tyra and he likes Ikram.
so I'll tell you this week because I'm ahead right now, but it picked Whitaker. It picked
Yep.
Pavlovich. And it picked
Oh, bro, don't tell me you put in that Kelvin Gastelum fight in there.
Gastelum has a 60% win probability.
Oh, my God. Kelvin, please, for
No,
the
no.
love of
You
God,
you know what that
don't be the guy to shit the Darce fucking record.
if Das
Bro,
says 60%, I'm
that
getting a
fight
split.
has a 65% chance of going to decision. 65 listen, it says that the fight's decision probability is 65%. It only goes out of 100. So out of 100, it's giving 65% to decision. And then, um, sorry, something distracted me. Rodriguez's three possibilities and Gaslam's three possibilities, they both have a 65% decision probability.
Wow. Okay. I like the decision
When
probability.
you look at each fighter's win path, it is a 65% decision probability individually. And then when you remove them, because Darce does that, and you look at the two of them together with fighters removed, that's literally what it does. It says that there is a 65% chance this fight goes to fucking decision.
So slam the hell out of the over.
It
Listen,
seems like that's the fucking play, unless somebody. Yeah, that just seems like that's the play.
Kelvin.
Well, look, I'm. Go ahead, Ozzy. My bad.
I wonder what the line is going to be set at for fight to go to distance on that one. It's probably going to be horrible.
Let me see if Bet Online already has it. I'm pulling it up.
Probably be fucking minus 500 or something crazy.
Yeah, I bet it is. I bet it is something crazy.
The
Won't be
over two and a
500,
half
but
is at minus 200 already.
Man, that seems like fucking good value to
oh,
me.
I like that.
Yeah,
2.5 minus 200. That's a parlay piece right there. Yeah.
100%.
Listen,
Yeah, that's
boys.
going to get smashed down. That'll get smashed down to minus 250, minus 300.
Oh, yeah. I've been listening since you boys opened up. My wife just got off work. I'm going to go talk to her. I'm getting the fuck out of here, boys.
Yeah, I'm meant to be building a fence, dude. I'm going to get my ass kicked when my wife gets home.
Later on, boys. I'm out of here.
Take it easy, Joe.
Appreciate you.
Later.
Nah, I mean, last thing I'll just say is like, if you really think about it, Gaslam's got that damn rock hard chin, and Rodriguez does hit hard, but if anybody's going to sleep, it's got to be Rodriguez, not Gaslam. I don't know, man. We've been going, me and you, Aussie, me and you, we've been going all fucking night, brother. I think it's time to call it quits.
All right, man. Thanks for the time as usual, brother. And I'll try to catch you this week. I'll see how I go. I've got a few things going on. So, yeah, hopefully I can make it. What do you do at Tuesday? So that would be, or Wednesday. When do you do it?
Tuesday at 8 p.m. over here. I don't know what the hell that is, Australian
So
time.
what's that? Like 2 days?
Yes, in 2 days from now. Wait, Sunday, yeah,
Okay,
Monday,
yeah.
Tuesday, yeah.
It'll be Wednesday for me. All right. Yeah, no worries. I'll try to make it, my man.
For sure, brother, and I'll be trying to make your space from now on. I need to catch these fucking plus 2,600 submissions you be hitting.
Yeah, yeah. It was a good week, brother. All
Latest,
right.
bro.
On to next week, my man.
Yes, sir.